What up, gamers? So, the worldwide download celebration is well underway, and we're encroaching on part 3, which means soon it will be time for everyone's favorite mode. Some people love it, some people hate it. The people who love it are Chads, the people who hate it are dumb. Explosive Chad battle. So, we now know what the effective categories and characters are for this chain battle. So that means that we can start putting the pieces together and figuring out which characters we need to start grinding so that we are as prepared for this chain battle as possible. So I'm just going to show you guys what I got going on and hopefully give you some advice on what you should be working on in this week that we have to prepare. So let's go ahead and take a look at my Chad battle tab. So you're going to find 3 main types of characters here. We got Freezes, we got Blue Vegetas, and we got Piccolos. So the reason for this, so let me just go over why this is the case. So first off, the freezes should be fairly obvious. The categories are, let's see, Planet NAMEK Saga, Gifted Warriors, and Sworn Enemies. So basically every NAMEK Saga Frieza is going to fall under that category. So that part, the extreme side, should be fairly straightforward this time. Obviously, the God King of this chain battle for the extreme side is going to be this guy right here. The people who are going to be able to get the highest scores of all on the extreme side are people who have rainbowed this guy and have copies of the TUR and SSR. That's obviously not going to be most players. However, there's a whole lot of options this time, so you should be able to make do anyway. So like, this is what I got brewing so far. One thing you can work on if you want to make your lineup more appealing, you should all already have this guy rainbowed. If you don't, like, what are you doing? Go ahead and do that. But another thing you can do is you can rainbow this guy, the TUR of that LR Prime Battle Frieza. And if you rainbow him, he's going to be linking perfectly with this guy in the chain battle. You can also take it a step further and do his SSR. Only reason I haven't done that yet is because I don't have enough orbs, so I'm just going to find some other Frieza to take that person's place. But this is the kind of thing you should be looking for. Just any Planet NAMEK Saga Frieza. They're all going to be... The extreme side for this one is pretty straightforward. Bonus points if you have the LRs and especially extra copies of them. So extreme side is basically exactly what you'd expect. Now the super side is where things get a little bit more interesting. Now what a lot of people probably thought this chain battle was going to be was, let's take a look at Planet NAMEK Saga. A lot of people probably thought we were going to be seeing Namek Goku as the character you want to use for this, but now that we've seen the actual categories, if we're going strictly by the categories, then the most optimal character is honestly probably the NAMEK Saga Piccolos, because they're on Planet NAMEK Saga, they're going to share a lot of categories with each other, and they're also on the Gifted Warriors category, which NAMEK Saga Gokus are not. However, another theory people are having is that it's not necessarily Piccolos you want to go for, but Blue Vegetas. Because the Blue Vegetas are all going to share a whole bunch of categories. They're going to have Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's family, all that good shit. And they're also all going to have that effective category of Gifted Warriors. So what people are thinking is going to work best is if you just get a whole bunch of blue Vegetas. Like, when you actually get your lineups, you're going to hope to get, like, this Vegeta, probably this Vegeta because he's also on Realm of Gods. You're going to want less of the Revival of F Vegetas, but if you get a full lineup of them, it could be pretty solid. But, like, these types of Vegetas, the Revival of F Vegetas, are sort of in a separate category from these other Vegetas, but they can kind of work together. But those are your main three things. Planet Namek Saga Freezes, Piccolos, particularly Planet Namek Saga ones, but, you know, there's not enough to fill up a full lineup for that, so just fill up the rest of it with whatever Piccolos you can. Let's go over some options for your grinding between now and then. Like, a lot of you are probably going to have these shitty ROF blue Vegetas sitting around your box gathering dust. You can always go, if you got a bunch of keys, which I personally do at the moment, I'm sitting on like 100 or so. You can always just go to the Dragon Ball Super Broly story event and grind out these Vegetas right here, as much of them as you can, and grind out the metals so you can awaken them to blue Vegetas. So you can go ahead and get a bunch of these guys to raise the SA of your shitty blue Vegetas that you have sitting around in your box. So that's one thing you can be doing. You can be grinding incredible gems to be farming this guy. You can farm... this guy is going to be important if you want to go the Piccolo lineup, and you can also go ahead and farm his SSR and get that to Rainbow. That's kind of what we're looking at here. So you're going to be looking at the Dragon Ball Super Broly story event. You're going to be looking at, let's go ahead and bring it up here. Loading times. You're going to be looking at the Ginyu Force story event. So you can grind up that Piccolo. And yeah, that's basically those are going to be your main targets for this. So as long as you focus on those kinds of characters, I'm probably going to go a bit more I don't know, honestly. I might go a bit more the Piccolo route. I think I might finish getting this guy to SA15. Like, what people are saying, people are thinking the Piccolos because, like, the Vegetas will have better chain power and better links and more categories and all that stuff. But Piccolo is on 2 of the effective categories, and there are some Piccolos that are effective, that are specifically, you know, like red sparkly characters. What I'm hearing is that you should, even if Piccolo turns out to be optimal, you still should be able to get top 1% with a full Vegeta lineup. So if you're unsure about your Piccolos, go ahead and go for the Vegetas. But those are going to be your main targets, Piccolos and Vegetas. Not both. Like, we're going to see which way it turns out to be. From what I've heard, I'm thinking it's going to be more along the Piccolo route. But even if Piccolo turns out to be optimal, the Vegetas, like, I would say the safe bet would be to go for Vegetas. Because even if Vegeta turns out to not be the optimal way to do it, and Piccolo turns out to be a little bit better, it is sounding like you'll still probably be able to get a top 1% score with a Vegeta lineup. So yeah, this is mostly just to flesh out your own lineup so you can get a bunch of extra currency. But, you know, the more people start preparing for this stuff early and getting it ready, the easier time basically everyone will have getting a good score. So that's basically what you're going to be wanting to do as far as prepping your box. Start working on, grind your Piccolos, grind your Vegetas. You should already have a whole bunch of freezes that are up to the task. And yeah, that's what you should be preparing for this upcoming chain battle.